Whether you're a new or seasoned real estate agent, you may occasionally find yourself hosting an open house for another agent. It's common practice. Not every listing agent is able to host all of their own open houses, especially if they're a veteran agent and have a lot of listings. But it can also be a little intimidating. If you want to do a great job, expand your own client base, and foster your relationships with other agents, there are certain ways you can prepare. What's going on, everyone? I'm Kyle Handy, a realtor and team leader here in San Antonio, Texas. I help teach other realtors, team leaders, and brokers how to grow and scale their real estate business through digital marketing, content creation, social media, as well as tried and true methods. And if you want proven strategies that you can use to get more leads, closings, and scale your team, you'll love this video. Keep watching. Okay, now let's get started. So first off, why should you host an open house for another agent? Running a successful open house is an art. It takes some time to be comfortable at an open house event, not to mention learning how to interact with open house attendees. As a new agent, you may not always have something to fill all your time. While you can post more on social media or chase down potential leads, networking with other real estate professionals can be better. You can do this by hosting a house for another agent. Hosting a real estate open house for another agent gives you practice at hooking an interested buyer in addition to helping you get your name out there. Lastly, it allows you to work your niche. In the beginning, you may not have listings in your desired niche area. When you host an open house for another agent, you can choose the area and begin consistently working that area. So, preliminarily, what are your and their expectations? Every realtor and brokerage operates a little differently. Before you even start, ask the other real estate agent what their expectations are. It's possible they've already done most of the work, but just need a warm body in the house. It's also possible that they haven't done anything at all. You'll need a clear set of expectations if you're to guide the real estate transaction appropriately, and this will prevent there from being any major miscommunications down the line. If hosting for another brokerage, be sure to get written approval, text or email from the other broker, not just the agent. If hosting for another agent within your brokerage, written permission from the agent is typically enough. Be sure to ask your broker their policy on this. Hey, if you're getting value out of this, could you do me a huge favor and hit that like button? I'd greatly appreciate it. And also consider subscribing if you haven't already, as I release a new free training 3 times per week, as well as go live every Tuesday, and you won't want to miss any of it. Okay, so now the next step is to research. Find out more about the listing. You'll want to create a fact sheet about the listing that includes all the basic elements, such as when it was built, the square footage, the size of the lot, and more. Additionally, take a look at anything special that you might want to point out to a potential buyer, such as a well-landscaped garden or a brand new HVAC. As a realtor, you may want to know more about the comparables in the area, but do remember that your goal is to present the open house in the best light possible. You're not operating as the buyer's agent, at least not yet. So, when you meet with a prospective buyer, you should find out their interests, see if this property's a match, and go from there. Next up is promotion and marketing the open house. This won't always fall on you. Often, some of the marketing will already have been done, and there will be specific marketing processes that the brokerage will have. But it may be that you're marketing the open house as well as conducting it. There are a lot of venues that you can use to market the open house. You can post on Craigslist, Facebook Marketplace, and set up directional signs. Also, you may need to coordinate with the listing agent adding the open house within Zillow, Realtor.com, and the MLS, since those sources typically only let the actual listing agent update the listing. If you have a Facebook business page and or an Instagram account, you should also post your listing there, even if they've already been marketed. This will make it easier for you to also develop your brand. There are times when another agent may ask you to conduct a private showing. During those, you won't have to go through and post an open house sign or market an open house event. You'll just have to show up and know what you're showing. Okay, so now on to hosting. Running an open house event. Being a hosting agent takes work and skill. Not only do you need to greet and engage each open house visitor, but you also need to know what to highlight about a property. You'll also need to provide an open house sign-in sheet to record each guest's information. And for a great open house sign-in sheet, check out my other video that I'll link above. Take some time to get to know the property before anyone arrives. Consider developing a short open house script before you get there. Something that runs down the basics of the property and all the major high points. If the seller is available, make sure you introduce yourself and explain that you'll be running the open house early. The seller's agent will have already discussed this, but you'll want to build a rapport with the seller yourself. Practice your answers to any challenging questions you're likely to get. A potential home buyer is likely to ask an open house agent about the foundation, roof, and any other structural issues. They may also ask questions such as, is there any interest in the property? Have any offers been presented? Why is this property more expensive than similar properties? Are there other similar properties on the MLS? When dealing with a potential client, you need to be able to handle these questions delicately. If you're wondering anything about the property yourself, you should ask the listing agent ahead of time. Be aware that during an open house, you're likely to interact with a buyer's agent too. This means another professional realtor may start asking you questions about the property or start the process of negotiations. Know what processes your broker has for this. Further, know when you should and shouldn't redirect individuals to other potential homes. A real estate agent will understand that not everyone who goes to an open house is going to express interest in that property, but they will not continue to work with someone who is actively pulling individuals off their listings and onto their own. So now let's talk about virtual open houses, what they are, and when you should use them. The open house an agent asks you to host may not always be in person. It's becoming more common to have a virtual open house event, especially if there's only a single attendee or someone looking at the property from out of town. A virtual open house takes place online with you, the buyers, and the buyer's agent. You still walk them through everything, but it will be in a digital space. This can throw off even the most experienced agent. Before a virtual open house, you'll want to make sure that everything works properly. Be sure you have a strong internet signal from the property if conducting live, and walk through the house on your own before your appointment. A virtual open house can even be offered in conjunction with a traditional open house to give individuals who can't get into the area a chance to view the property and potentially make an offer. Speaking of making an offer, I'd like to take a minute real quick to tell you about my training academy. I've put together some great in-depth video-based training for real estate agents, new or experienced. So if you're looking for an actionable, step-by-step system that will help you to get more leads and earn more money, enroll today at academy.kylehandy.com. So next up, let's talk about following up, connecting with prospective clients. It's understood that you will be scoping out prospective clients during the open house when you're hosting an open house for another agent. This is one reason why it's so valuable for newer agents. During the open house, make sure to get everyone's contact information. After the open house, reach out to everyone about the property and connect regarding their house hunt. Of course, it's not likely that you're trying to snag someone who already has a buyer's agent, but many people go to open houses who aren't working with a realtor yet. They may be interested in working with an agent. Okay, so now let's talk about what shouldn't you do at an open house. In addition to the things you should do, such as following up, there are generally some rules regarding what you shouldn't do. First of which, don't leave early. You may be booked from 10 to 2, but that doesn't mean you should leave at 2. When it comes to looking at houses, a lot of people are going to linger and take their time. It takes time to seal a deal. Get used to a listing taking unexpectedly long periods of time, but understand that everything moves you closer to a commitment. Next, never guarantee anything. There are potentially things that you don't know about the listing. It's easy to become eager to seal the deal by promising things like minor concessions, but if you can't guarantee something, it'll just be a waste of time for both parties. Third, don't ignore anyone. You might be surprised to find out who is really a qualified buyer. Even if someone seems rather flippant about the property or seems rather casual about the process, they could still be a serious buyer. They may just already know they're interested. You should treat every listing as though it were your listing, even if it's not. That will get you a positive reputation in the industry. Okay, so now let's talk about getting started with open houses. So how do you even start running an open house for another agent? It's common enough in real estate that usually your broker will approach you first. Often, a listing agent is going to connect with other agents at their brokerage to find someone who is free. It's not uncommon for a listing agent to have to outsource at least a few of their open houses. And when they do have to, they'll reach out to the individuals they trust first. To get started with open houses, talk to the professionals that you work with. You can ask them about running open houses for them, or even ask them for open house tips. Make your broker aware that you're looking to run open houses for other realtors. Eventually, you'll get enough open houses coming to you that you won't need to ask. By the way, if you'd like my free real estate business plan template to track your sales, commissions, profit and loss, net worth, and budget, head over to kylehandy.com/business plan to download it today. And lastly, one other way is to actually scope out the listings that are new that you wish to do an open house on and reach out to those agents directly. I've found that if I reach out to around 5 agents a week, I can easily get 2 to 3 that will allow me to do an open house for them. Okay, so here are some frequently asked questions on hosting an open house for another agent. Why would you host an open house for another agent? Well, hosting an open house for another agent is something that many new real estate agents and experienced agents do. You gain exposure and experience. In some cases, you may even be compensated for your time in addition to finding buyers. When working with a brokerage, you're often required to help out with open houses. This is done in return for the exposure that the brokerage gives you in terms of marketing and resources. And helping out other agents is also how you get other agents to help you. Once you become an experienced agent, it will be common for you to have more listings than you can really attend open houses for. At that time, you'll be able to swap with other, less experienced agents and have them handle some of your listings. Next, what type of compensation is normal when hosting a realtor's or broker's open house? This depends on the realtor and brokerage. Commonly, there's no compensation exchanged. The compensation is in terms of experience and networking. But if the other agent expects you to do a lot of work, such as marketing the listing too, you may receive a flat fee in compensation. Unlike a referral, it's rare to be paid out as a percentage of the sale in closing costs. It's more likely for you to agree to a one-time flat rate fee. So then how should you procure clients at another realtor's open house? While you shouldn't step on anyone else's toes, the majority of agents understand that you'll be trying to reach out to prospects. Speak to everyone who comes to the open house. They may need a buyer's agent. If someone mentions they are already working with an agent or want to speak with the listing agent, don't interrupt. That would often be considered stealing the client, but there's never any harm in handing out your business card. If you like this video, make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel right now. Just click on the subscribe button below this video. Also, hit that thumbs up button and give this video a like, as it helps my videos reach more real estate agents looking to grow their businesses. And by the way, if you're interested in partnering with me at eXp Realty, head over to my partner page and check out the exclusive benefits you receive. I'm passionate about helping agents win. I've already partnered with nearly 100 agents across the country to help them increase their real estate business and generate more leads. And I'm never too busy for you. When you partner with me, you receive free access to all of my current and future paid courses, which you can find on academy.kylehandy.com. Additionally, you get access to my private Facebook community called The Dream Team, where I go live multiple times per week. Head over to kylehandy.com/partner for more information. Finally, if you've made it this far, I want to thank you. Type #EndCrew into the comments to let me know that you watched to the end. And now I want to turn it over to you. Have you hosted an open house for another agent? What was your experience? Until my next video, be well and get out there and sell some homes.